Concord had its open beta this past weekend following on from the recent closed beta. Well, I jumped back in, having had a great time during the closed beta, but this time I noticed something very different. The online reaction has been very negative and very loud, and that led me to wonder what exactly is going on with that reaction to Concord. Well, today I'm going to have a look at the Concord reaction, reasons why it could be, plus also try and answer the question, can Concord be saved? Well, before we dive into things, I want to say that I really enjoyed my time in the closed beta and also the open beta too. I tried out every character, all the different game modes, and I had fun. Now, sure, there are some big improvements needed, but the fundamental gameplay is good. And that is the most important thing with a first-person shooter. You need a good foundation to build on. So I came out of the closed beta really positive about the game's future, but then I started seeing the online reaction, and since that time it's only snowballed from there. So I jumped back into the open beta this weekend, having spent time experimenting in the closed beta, and to be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing in the closed beta, but this time it was much better. I was switching between characters, getting those team buffs, plus also I could put together my own set of free gunners with the crew builder system. All the things I didn't really understand from the closed beta I put into practice here, and things felt very good. So Firewalk Studios also opened up a new game mode this time, meaning more game modes to play throughout the open beta. I'm still convinced the gunplay is good, the maps are okay, they certainly don't blow me away, but I think they're pretty solid, and I was having fun across all the modes that I tried out. I was having the most fun in the Takedown and Trophy Hunt playlist, so while I did try out the other modes, I predominantly spent my time there. Now, I know the maps, I know the spawn points now, I know the health pickup points, and also the characters. I was able to assemble a team that really worked for me. So my top characters so far are Itzy, Lennox, Hamar, Teo, and I prefer the traditional first-person shooter characters in the roster, and I was doing okay in matches. I had fun over the weekend, and came out of the open beta looking forward to the full release. Okay, so then I started looking at the reaction, and the stats, so the player count, was just not good reading at all. The all-time peak for the open beta was 2.3k or 2,300, and that was shortly after release. Just compare that over the same time period as Destiny 2. The 24-hour peak was 76,000, Overwatch 2 was 44,000, the finals was 16,000. I was pretty surprised at that, to be honest, and Helldivers 2 was 32,000. So yes, there's plenty of caveats here. It's a beta. There's probably more players on PlayStation, but still, 2,300 players is worrying for an open beta. Now, the player count hovering around 2,000 for an open beta does not look good for the future of the game. At this point, with an open beta, you want players knocking the door down wanting to get in. So this is free after all, and the game is going to cost $40. If the player count is this low when the barriers to entry are low, what's the player count going to be like when it comes to paying to get in? So the other concerning thing, looking at the Steam numbers over the weekend for the open beta, is they were declining player numbers over time. So they started off high when the open beta started, and they ended up much lower. So we started off with a peak of 2,300, and that number rapidly decreased over the next 3 days that the game was available. So this is bad news. It means players have tried the game at the start of the beta and then did not come back over the weekend. So why have there been so few players? There's likely a few reasons working together here. So let's have a look at a couple of the potential options for why players have been turned off. So first of all, gameplay. So I still support the gameplay. I stand up. I think it's good. It's decent. But, is Concord doing anything to stand out from the crowd? It's fun, but does it differentiate itself from other PvP games? Yes, it's probably going to attract some fans, but, is that player count going to be enough? Next up, we got the characters. So players don't seem to like these characters at all. I don't really think the cinematic at the Sony event during Summer Games Fest helped. Fans reacted badly to that cinematic. I think with a game like this, gameplay is the core focus. And then if the gameplay is fun, then give me more lore about the characters. The way it was presented just felt backwards. They led with the narrative and then showed the gameplay. Next up, we got price. So it is $40 to jump into the game compared to other free shooters like Destiny 2, Overwatch 2, the finals, Valorant. etc., etc. So while there are definitely benefits to having a price for entry, like keeping cheaters out, this is a very competitive market, and first-person shooters live or die on their player counts. Next up, we've got a really important one, and this is PR. So Sony have been relatively quiet about this game. They announced the game in May 2023, then followed that with a cinematic and gameplay reveal in May 2024, so they left it a whole year. There's a long time between announcements where we didn't really know what the game was to the gameplay reveal with that cinematic. They also then led with that cinematic, as I mentioned before, and then people were a little bit disappointed that it was a hero shooter and not a first-person action game. So I haven't really seen much marketing from Sony at all on social media. Firewalk Studios did come out this week and do a Q&A via Twitter, but other than that, I haven't really heard much about this game at all. Okay, so the big question from me is, can Concord be saved? So I'm hopeful this comes out and finds an audience, because I really enjoyed my time with the beta, and I found the fun, but the player count does not lie. Concord had a max player peak at 2,300 over the open beta weekend, and ideally you want 10 times or 20 times more than that number to be successful. Helldivers 2, another live service game from Sony, was trending at over 200,000 players when it launched. Yes, it is a different game, it's a different genre, and it caught players' imagination and perhaps inflated Sony's ego when it came to how easy live service games are going to be. Well, we're going to have to see what happens between now and August the 23rd, 2024, when Concord is due for a release. You know, it feels like this game needs some major work before the release, and we don't really have enough time. So I think the only option really is to delay the game. You know, I want Concord to succeed. I believe in the developers behind this game. I believe in Firewalk Studios. But my honest opinion right now, it just doesn't look good. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about Concord, and let me know what you think about the question, can Concord be saved? I would love to hear what you think. Well, that is it for this Concord video today, and as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget you can hit that subscribe button down below for even more Concord content here on Endgamer Express. You can also like the video and share the video too. That would help me out here on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Well, thank you for watching that video, and today I'd like to talk about Endgame Express Backstage, the home of exclusive content for fans of Endgame Express. To join, simply join up through Patreon or the YouTube membership. You get early access and exclusive content, shout-outs in the videos, access to live streams, plus also access to our exclusive Endgame Express Backstage community Discord. Well, here's some more information about the tiers. So in Tier 1, that is $2.99 a month, you get access to our community Discord and also early access to content. In Tier 2, that is $4.99 and you get shoutouts in the credits of videos, and also you get access to community polls and help shape the content. For Tier 3, that is $8.99 and you'll get access to exclusive community videos and also get access to exclusive live streams as well. Well, the core content on Endgame Express is always going to be free, but if you want to go above and beyond and support Endgame Express, then all you need to do is get access to Endgame Express Backstage today through Patreon or YouTube membership. You know, Endgame Express is a one-man band right now, but I would love to expand into more games, podcasts, more channels, but to do that, I'm going to need your help to make this sustainable, and in return, I offer you some exclusive benefits and backstage-only content. Well, if you enjoy Endgame Express, then consider Endgame Express Backstage today. You can hit that membership button right down below, or you can find us on the Patreon links, and you'll find those links in the description. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you very soon.